Hey guys, welcome to another video. My name's Jaden, and if you don't know me, I've finished year 13 now and I'm hopefully going to university in September. In today's video, we're going to be talking about 10 things I wish that I would have known from the start of year 13. For a bit of context, I did 4 A-levels and an EPQ for the whole of A-levels, which are maths, chemistry, physics, biology, and an EPQ in a dental related topic. I have a lot of experience in revision, studying for exams, admissions, university things, everything of that nature, and so here's my advice to help you get through year 13. My first point is going to be talking about year 12 and the comparisons between the jump from year 12 to 13. For me, this jump was absolutely massive. A lot of the things that I learned in year 12 became common sense, and I found year 13 so much harder. Content learning and understanding was just so much harder than year 12, and so that's what made this year particularly difficult for me, especially trying to balance these things upon all your admissions for universities, personal statements, entrance exams, everything like that. And it's also the fact that it's your last year of school and A-levels are actually coming up extremely quickly, and real life sort of hits you in the face and tells you that you don't have long to prepare. Also, I found the jump from year 12 to 13 a lot bigger than the jump from GCSE to year 12. And so I would not underestimate the difficulty of year 13 and would definitely try to prepare ahead and get as much done in the year 12 summer as you can. My second tip would be to stay organised as you have so much going on, especially during the beginning of year 13. There is no time to waste as you've got personal statement deadlines, teacher or subject references, end of topic exams, EPQ deadlines, mocks to revise for, and on top of all of that, you also have to start remembering and revising all of the information and content you learnt from year 12. So it's very important that you stay organised so you know what deadlines are coming up when, and you should be aware on how much time each task requires. My third piece of advice is about EPQ, and if you're taking an EPQ, I would recommend doing the majority of it during the year 12 summer. Normally for my school we have to present our whole project and our findings, but sort of luckily this was pushed back to March, where some of us gave our presentations online but I had to give mine in person, and if I didn't have these months extra to prepare I probably wouldn't have been ready on time. So my whole project would be weaker than it was, and this was not very good organisation or commitment on my part. So I'd recommend, if you are committed to doing an EPQ, that you do get a lot of it done during the summer of year 12, where you get all your writing, all your research and your whole project written up with all your references done, ready for your presentations and final hand-in early in the new year. My fourth tip is a really quick one, and it's to start drafting your personal statement in the summer of year 12 as well. This especially applies if you're an early applicant and you need to hand in your personal statement near the end of the year and you have a lot of free time in year 12 where you're not doing anything. So I recommend writing a few drafts of your personal statement, and your initial first draft and your probably 10th draft will be quite bad. So having this head start by starting as early as the summer will really give you that step forward and motivation, and it will allow you to improve your personal statement over time, where you'll be able to get it checked so many times, and so it will be perfect when you do need to hand it in. When our early applicant deadline was coming up for personal statements, so many people were rushing around and trying to finalize things, but you can see the people that prepared in advance and already had everything written out, everything finalized, and it was just much more peaceful and stress-free year 13, and you will thank me for this in the future. My fifth tip is about doing your university research as soon as possible and finding out what courses you want to apply for. Start visiting universities as early as possible, watch online videos, YouTube videos, look at the student room, look at the accommodation reviews, look at everything you can find about the universities, rank them in a list or spreadsheet that you make your pros and cons about each university, and write all your thoughts down on paper or online to see which university will suit you best, as you will be spending a significant amount of your life there, and it's really important that you enjoy living there as well as studying there so you can have the best time you possibly can. And by doing this as early as possible, it will really give you a head start into year 13, and you can find out the minimum grades your course requires you to get, so you have something to aim for and something to be motivated for. My sixth tip is about uni entrance exams and having a strategy on choosing your universities and where to apply. Depending on what course you want to do, and if your uni does do entrance exams for that course, you'll be wanting to be quite strategic in where you're choosing to apply, as some unis will have higher cut-off points than others, especially Oxbridge, medicine and dentistry universities, where the UCAT, BMAT and other entrance exams have cut-off points where if you don't get the minimum requirements, you'll get rejected straight away. So one of your uni choices will be wasted if you have got below that point. So it's really important that you take your entrance exams and admissions tests into consideration. My 7th tip is about revision in general, and it's to start revision as soon as you begin year 13. This will help keep things ticking over from year 12 that you may have forgotten, and will also help you to revise for mocks and your final A levels at the end of the year. In year 13, you begin to learn a lot of the more complex and harder topics, so it's important that you remember all the basics you learned in year 12, and so you can prepare as well as you can. Also, use mocks as the real thing and revise for them as hard as you normally would for A levels or GCSEs, as after mocks you can see your areas of weakness and where you can improve on. And this is actually really useful information that you can use when revising for your A levels, as you'll see specific questions and areas of topics that you can work on for the exam, so you don't make those mistakes again. Point 8 is about past papers and how they've changed from year 12. They will be very different as they now contain the whole syllabus instead of only half the course like they did in year 12, and will include all the topics that you haven't really learnt or revised as much. You'll really only have half a year to learn, understand and practice all the topics that you learn in year 13, which just makes it so much harder and more stressful on yourself. So be mentally prepared for this challenge in advance, and you will find the same thing in year 12, where if you just do more questions and more quantity at the beginning rather than quality, you will start to improve. My 9th point is about your improvement from past papers, and if you don't know why you're not improving. You can do what I did and write down the individual scores for each question in your past papers, and also write down the corresponding topic and area of your syllabus that this applies to. You can then highlight any of the questions where you got, say, below 50 or 60%, and then you can start to see correlations and patterns in where you need to revise and your weaknesses. You can also ask yourself the simple question, if the exam was tomorrow, what topic would I struggle on the most? And your answer will be the one that you need to focus on right at that moment, so you should stop procrastinating and just force yourself to do it. Ultimately, this method is quite long-winded and may sound boring, but it's a very efficient way to improve your marks and focusing on your weak areas, which will ultimately make you feel happier in the long run. And looking back on it now, I was very pleased that I did all of these things that I did. No matter what A-level grades I get in August, I'm happy with the work that I put in and my performance during the exam. So this will definitely all be worth it if you're willing to put in the time and effort it requires. My 10th tip would be to enjoy your last year at school. Unfortunately, we didn't get to experience the whole year of year 13 due to COVID and the pandemic, and so much of our teaching being online at home. But now that I've left school, reality has sort of set in, and realising that you'll never see some of the common faces that you see every day is actually quite sad, and you will definitely miss those people. As I'd known most of those people from year 7, and not seeing them anymore will be a huge change. So make the most of your friends, make the most of the people around you, and make the most of your school and enjoy every moment while it lasts, because you'll only do this once in your lifetime. So it's really important that you enjoy it and remember it for the rest of your life. So in conclusion, even though year 13 was the hardest year of my life due to the build-up of stress and pressure, mainly due to exams and university admissions, you should definitely try to enjoy it. And after you finish, hopefully you'll be where I am and realise that it was all worth it. So there are my tips for year 13, and if you found any of this helpful or valuable to you, then please consider giving this video a like and subscribing to my channel, and I'll be posting a lot more content like this in the future. And even if I don't see you again, I'm wishing everyone who sees this the best of luck in year 13. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.